Okay, so it's happy Easter time. Last year I gave you my overnight chocolate tart. Scroll down, that's a winner. This year, chocolate cremo. This is a dessert I've had on the menu for over 15 years at Trinity. It's the easiest, simplest, definitely the most effective chocolate dessert I know. I'm going to give you 3 ways to finish and eat that dessert. We have 3 simple ingredients. We've got 655 of 80% chocolate, that's Valrhona chocolate. We've got 300 egg yolks and we've got 255 caster sugar. It's as simple as that. In this pan here, we've got 1 litre of milk and 500 mils of double cream. I'm going to add the sugar to the egg yolks, and we're just going to bring these together. It's not a kind of creaming together thing, you just bring them together, dissolve the sugar a little bit. I'm using pasteurised egg yolks for that because that's just what we're using for some things in the restaurant, but you can just use fresh egg yolks. Just weigh them, scale them out, because if I give you an egg yolk quantity, it will vary. In there goes the hot dairy, a little bit of it, not all of it. Give it a really good whisk. This just stops it splitting. So if you don't do that and you pour that straight in there, what you end up with is essentially scrambled eggs. So we don't want that. Right, then we lose the whisk, we move into a Maurice, and then this mix goes back into here. And the bowl should be nice and clean at the end. Right, that goes on a nice low heat, low as possible, it's a low heat at home. And we just want to switch to a Maurice so we don't create air bubbles here, really important. And we just work this backwards and forwards. I really recommend you don't disappear and make a cup of tea at this point. You want to be sticking around, giving this a good stir, and we want to cook this until the whole thing is nice and cooked and thick. Over here, meanwhile, is my chocolate. So you can go milk, you can go 90%. I actually tend to go a mixture of 70 and 90, so I get a kind of an 80 blend, but just buy 80% chocolate or nice cooking chocolate, whatever you like. And that chocolate just sits in a bowl like that, and this Anglaise is going to be hot enough to bring this together. So it's kind of like a chocolate mousse, but made with a much denser chocolate mousse. It's not light and aerated, much firmer, much richer chocolate mousse. And we use it to serve mainly with ice creams because I like it like that. It pipes really nicely, feels a nice gougere, I can fill a nice eclair with it, things like that. It's got loads of uses, the chocolate cremo. I've always liked it. It's very simple to make. We often make it in a fancy Thermomix machine, but I wanted to make it by hand here today just so you've seen it and you can see it made by hand because not many people have got a fancy Thermomix at home. Right, the other thing I've got for this as well, while this is happening, is I've got my pan. This is what the Cremosa is going to go in when it goes into the fridge. I'm going to pop that in the fridge so it's cold, and I've got some cling film ready to cover it. So when my Cremosa is ready, I can pour it straight in from the fridge. The pot is already cold and it chills that mix down really quickly. So that's a nice little tip. You don't have to do it, but it's a nice little tip. But that will hold all of that. Do that first though. Weigh out all your measurements. Look at the liquid volume you'll have at the end of it and make sure your pan will be able to hold all of those liquids, because otherwise your kitchen surface will be wearing it. This is a huge mix that we're making here because I'm making it for the restaurant to use. So this is actually going to get used in the restaurant. But very simple to scale down. Just take what we've written below in the comment section and you can scale that back down to half to a third. But this would feed 12 people really well. So if you want to feed 4 people, just divide it by 4. Right, if you look here now, Sam, come in here now, you see the bubbles have gone from the whisking pretty much. And it's starting to thicken up, starting to get a bit more viscosity, thickness, richness to it. All right, you see it on the back of the spoon there, just about parts. I want a bit more than that. I want it cooked a bit more than that. Watch that temperature. Don't let it go boiling. Don't let it get too hot. Don't make scrambled eggs. And if you do, look, if it scrambles, and sometimes it does, if you go over the top and you get those little lumps of egg in there, you can actually just spin that in a Thermomix or in a kitchen blender or something like that, and it will smoothen out all those lumps. It's not ideal because it changes the composition of the actual Anglaise, so don't do that unless you want to, but careful with that. Okay, so that's now pretty much there. See, it's parting nicely and holds. That's kind of where I'm looking for. And when I taste it, I'm not tasting any egg. I'm getting the sugar and the cream coming at me. I also noticed basically the bubbles are all pretty much gone as well, because that's the thickness of the Anglaise holding on to itself now. It just know the bubbles can't float and foam up on the top anymore. It's nearly there. I'm just checking it like that, looking for a bit more density. When I do that, it still runs back. You see that? I don't want that. I kind of want it to just sit there and not run back, if that makes sense. Beautiful. Right, that just simply goes on top of our chocolate now. Beautiful. And then we're going to slowly but gently allow the heat of that Anglaise to mix through, melt the chocolate, and let it all bind and combine. So what's going to happen is the chilled nature of that chocolate is going to cool the whole thing down. We need to stir for a little while, but once we stir in this now, the whole thing's just going to come together and emulsify eventually. But it'll take a while. It'll take a little while to happen because that chocolate's got to melt thoroughly into the hot Anglaise. It's very important that you do pour it from the pan straight into the chocolate. If you allow that to cool down, it just won't be enough temperature to make this happen. But you'll see, eventually that will all come together and emulsify beautifully. And my pan has been in the fridge, so it's nice and cool. You can see that start to come together. You should keep filming, Sam, because you'll watch what happens here is magic. It's like a sort of bit of, this is cinematic magic going on here, Sam. I think I'll probably get my Oscar for this one. I can wear a dress with no sides. Right, that is emulsifying really nicely. And I'm going to keep stirring now for a couple of minutes until that's cooled down a little bit before I add it to my pan, just to make sure. What happens is, if you don't do that, when you pour it in there, if it chills too quickly, the fats will start to want to separate. So let this cool right down before you get it in the pan and put it in the fridge. Only to sort of blood temperature. And there's slightly sort of glossy feeling to it as well. Beautiful. Doesn't run either, you see that? That's what we're looking for. So just let that cool down a little bit. We'll pop it in our pan. We'll pop some contact cling film on there. And the next thing you'll see me do is plate this in 3 rather interesting ways. Salt caramel ice cream, I'm thinking. Some delicious olive oil and sea salt, which is how I really love it. Then I might do something a little bit different.
What's the old...
That's special. That's
so good.
That's probably one of the best. I don't think I've ever taken a photo of something you've done
That's
spicy.
probably one of the best ones I've done.
Savvy, look at the f***ing mess you made here. Okay, so that is our incredible chocolate cremosa. All set. These set overnight, really. In that goes, right in the middle of the plate. Bosh. Either go in there with some olive oil, or you could do this, that I quite like. Here's a bit of an old Trinity classic. A little well there. And then we've got here some absolutely spectacular salt caramel ice cream. Ta-da! That's about as good as it gets. So here's that chocolate. And we just make ourselves a nice rocher like that. What I like to do is 2 things. Number 1, really good quality olive oil. This is Capizano olive oil. And a little bit of rock salt. That is a very fine way of eating chocolate cremosa. You've all heard of that chocolate spread thing at home, haven't you? A few hazelnuts. Off you go. Nutella. Oh. That is evil.